have control for a second. So let's talk a little bit about obstacle takeoff, right? The reason you do want to do an obstacle takeoff is assuming at the end of the runway,
some trees or whatever, yeah.
Right, trees or maybe there's usually only trees. They're usually not more than 50 feet, right? So you want to you don't want to hit them, but you want to clear as soon as possible. So the only difference is the procedure is kind of the same whether it's a short field or a soft field, right? But what you do is once you lift off, what happens is if you maintain ground effect, there's a possibility that you'll go hit the trees, right? You don't want to hit the trees, right? You want to get off the trees as soon as possible. So you do a VX climb.
Best angle of climb.
Best angle of climb. Do you know what the speed is for best angle of climb?
Yeah, 55.
56 knots to be more precise, right? So to be on the safer side, we won't go to 55 knots, but we'll maintain 60 knots, right? Just for safety reasons, right? So we will climb at 60 knots. So we don't maintain ground effect, we climb at 60 knots. Once we have a good altitude, once we know we have cleared the obstacles, so you call out clear of obstacles, you push your nose forward, go back to your VY or your best rate of climb, which is about 64, 68 knots. So you go back to 70 knots.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yep.
Any questions?
No.
The concept is the same thing. Let's say I tell you to do a soft field takeoff with obstacle, same thing. Control column all the way aft, full power. Once the plane lifts off, just climb at 60 knots. Okay? Once you clear the obstacle, push your nose forward and you can go back to 70 knots. Okay? Now, the only difference again is flaps. When you have an obstacle takeoff, there's no flaps. Because what happens is if you have flap, yes, it is going to get you off the ground quickly, but at the same time it's creating more drag, right? So you don't want to use flaps, okay? So no flaps, but instead of, you don't maintain ground effect, you just climb out VX. Once you clear the obstacle, you push your nose forward for VY, right? The same thing when you're coming into land as well. Assuming there are trees at the end of the runway or when you're coming in for approach, you want to clear the trees, right? So when you're coming in for approach, you come a little bit higher in approach. You should be about 350 feet to clear the obstacle. You shouldn't be at like 300 feet.
Okay.
Because that means you're just scraping the obstacle, right? So in that case, you be at about 350 feet. So you come a little bit higher on approach, but the procedure is still the same thing. Full flaps, 60 knots. Make sense?
No.
Any questions?
No.
Okay, perfect. Okay, you have control?
I have control. So for the run up, 800,000. So green, rich. 100 RPM. Suction good. Altimeter check.
City ground, good afternoon, Porter 539, gate 9 for pushback.
Porter 539, ground, pushback, your discretion.
Back your discretion, Porter 539.
No flaps. Drop. Turn right. Drop not more than 50. Done. There's drop. The check. Hold. Harness is on. Closed. Then sensor checked. Engine so green. Timer locked. Master on. Both mags on. Carbeat cold. Mixture rich. No flaps. and then 3/4 and 3/4 are checked. Controls are free. Up, up, down, down. Rudder is okay. And one of his traffic, and just to note down that
Mike, clear touch and go over 0-8. Clear touch and go 0-8, Cuba Mike.
So
1655.
And City Tower, go for
1655.
advise, I'll just keep
1555,
1655.
60, so yeah, 16. So.
Foxtrot Papa Sierra, roger.
Okay, so let's do a soft field obstacle takeoff. Okay?
Okay, so let's traffic first.
Order 264, the traffic, you're following us 3 mile final, but he's fast, so normal pace should work. Advice in sight.
We have that traffic in sight, Porter 264, check.
Roger.
Lot of power. You still have not got that. You're using a lot of power and a lot of brakes. Try to anticipate that turn, make it more gentle rather than the plane trying to like jerk and go. Okay, try to make it more nice.
City Tower, Golf Hotel, Zulu Lima, holding short 08, ready for takeoff.
Golf Hotel Zulu Lima, City Tower, roger, stand by.
Golf Hotel, Zulu Lima, standing by.
Foxtrot Papa Sierra, start the overshoot now. Cessna on the runways on the touch and go. And deviate just slightly to the left there to get north of the runway.
So soft feed, no flaps, you said.
With obstacle, no
With
flaps.
obstacles.
Julie Papa Mike, start a right turn 20 degrees.
Right turn, Cuba.
Come on, give me clearance, boy.
Dash 8 coming.
Too far out.
Porter 264, quarter line 08.
Clear answer, Porter 264.
So remember to keep the control column all the way aft.
Sierra, thanks. Incline 2,000
One continuous
feet left and
motion.
over. The cities at your discretion.
brakes.
Headings at your discretion now. The
Once the
sun goes
plane
your
lifts
right
off.
side, no conflict in the crosswind.
Since the nose is
stay
up,
north of the
you
sea
might
tower
have
for a
hear the stall horn. So just push it out forward a little bit and get a little bit of speed, and then you can climb up. Remember, outside is miles per hour, inside is knots. So if you want to go 60 knots, you got to go 70 miles per hour.
Okay, so we lift off at 60
The liftoff will happen by itself
by
because
itself, and then we climb at
70 miles per hour or 60 knots. So remember 70 miles per hour, okay?
Okay.
And then once you clear the obstacle, you can push your nose forward and go to 80 miles per hour, that's 70 knots, okay?
Okay.
Let it go now. Let it go. And if I'm not here when you land after your solo, do you have VNC and VTA? Toronto VNC and VTA?
No, not the recent ones, yeah.
But you have one.
I have one. I have the VNC. I don't have the VTA.
Okay, get the VTA. Don't buy the VNC. It's fine if it's old.
Yeah, because
We'll be doing navigation after. I mean, we'll be going to the practice area. So your circuits is done. So stay for about an hour today. Practice all performance: soft field, short field, with obstacle, without obstacle. You got to ace all this at this point of time. Okay.
Echo on 06. Julie Papa Mike, that's approved. Just extend your downwind. I'm going to try to get a couple departures off. Triple Mike, General. City Tower, Foxtrot Papa Sierra request.
Julie Papa Mike, just continue in the downwind for 08 and we'll get the simulated echo in the next one.
Check with Julie Papa Mike.
Tells Lima, line up runway 08.
Hotel Zulu Lima lining up 08.
And who else called tower?
Go Foxtrot Papa Sierra request. Can we make?
So I'm lining up here, but do I have still to?
Yeah.
Because it's, okay.
Because assuming you don't have to go there, you can just follow the line.
Ground 117 off.
It's lost contact.
Because assuming if it's a soft field, the taxiway also will be grass, right?
Yeah.
Kind of that assumption.
Because I'm not.
Yeah, I get your point. Yeah, I know it's all paved. No brakes. No brakes. Slowly keep moving. That's fine. He's going to give
Lima, clear takeoff, runway 08.
Hotel Zulu Lima, clear for takeoff 08.
Central line, slowly. Okay. Push nose forward a little. That's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. Hold it there. Nice. Okay, you cleared the obstacle. Push your nose forward. Perfect. 70 miles per hour. Or sorry, 80 miles per hour, 70 knots. Very good. Nice. A little bit of right rudder. Perfect. That's good.